Hey, what's up, growth coaches? Want to just clarify a couple things that we talked about in our meeting yesterday. I know some of us had to step out of the meeting before we finished because we went a little bit long, um, and some of us weren't able to be there. So I want to just clarify the action points that we're looking to have before our next meeting, which is in 2 weeks. In April, we're going to start as an organization, as Allison Park Church, to use a new goal setting software and process. The goal of this is to get everybody on the same platform and have one format for setting goals and allow us to let everything filter down throughout the organization. So Pastor Jeff, as our lead pastor, is going to set primary goals that he has for the entire organization. Then campus pastors are going to set their own goals for their campus, and then each ministry leader or director is going to set goals for their particular area of that campus. So in order for us to be on the same page and working together, there has to be a good process of communication so that we're working together. As we've been recently talking about, and even what I think we're going to continue to realize is as we add more campuses, now that we're 6 campuses, not everybody always agrees with the best direction that we should go. And specifically with growth coaches, when we're serving 6 different campuses, um, we can't just respond to one person's request of what they think. We have to really get ahead of everything and present ideas and gain agreement so that every campus pastor has the ability to weigh in, and then we can move forward with the best approach that serves all the campuses. This goal process is designed to do that so that we can communicate ahead of time and gain agreement so that everything that we're working on, the campus pastors are aware of and they're also in agreement of. So as we set goals, there's 5 primary areas that we as a church are looking to really have goals. We want to be growing, we want to be healthy, we want to be apostolic, we want to have a next generation focus, and we want to be multi-campus. So what I would like for each one of you to do is take the first 4 of those and define some things that you would like to set as milestones to recommend to all the people in your area. So those 4 areas are growing, healthy, apostolic, and next generation. So what you're going to do is take those 4 things and define a milestone or 2 under the ones that apply to you. Now, do you have to have a milestone for each one of those 4 things? No. If it doesn't make sense, you don't have to force it. But we want all of the things that we're working on to fall somewhere under there. So, example, let's take the welcome team. Growing could be we want to go from X number of volunteers to Y number of volunteers. If we currently have 30 volunteers, our goal might be we want to have 60 volunteers by the end of this time. Or we might want to set a milestone for how many volunteers we want serving at a particular event if we're doing a big event. We want to grow our volunteer team. Healthy for that area might be something associated with having good diversity among our team. So healthy might be that we have a balance of over 30 volunteers and under 30 volunteers. Apostolic might be that we want every one of our key directors to develop an apprentice, or our primary welcome director to develop an apprentice. So we're raising people up. Next generation might be centered around, I said this already, getting people that are younger serving on our teams. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a look at these 4 areas and define what are the different things that you want to set as milestones. Now let me clarify too. You are not setting the numbers. What I want you to do is I want you to set the parameters, and then the campus pastors should be the ones that set the numbers. So another example, kids ministry. If we want to be growing, the one campus might have 20 kids coming every week. But the growth coach will say, we want to set an attendance goal for the weekend services in Kids Zone. Then the campus pastor and the Kids Zone director will define what that attendance goal is. The growth coach does not do that, but the growth coach can recommend, hey, we want to have an attendance goal. And then filling in the actual numbers is going to happen at the campus level. So hopefully that makes sense. What I would like for everyone to do coming into our next meeting in 2 weeks is to define What are the milestones that you would recommend for each of those 4 areas? And we can wrestle a little bit with that. The first step is to bring that to me, to bring that to this room where we talk about that. And eventually, what I would like to do is I'd like to collect all of those things, put it into one single document, and be able to bring it to all the campus pastors and say, hey, this is the growth coach's recommendation of how we can set goals for these particular areas. And if we're all in agreement on this, the growth coaches are going to spend the majority of their time and their attention really channeling every one of the ministry leaders to focus on these things. Now, if there's other things that you want to do beyond these things, that's great. Go ahead and do that. Work with your people, set specific goals. But we're all together going to be rowing in the same direction for these specific things. And there's going to have to be some different drafts to this. So we'll try it once. You might bring it to me and I say, well, maybe we can move this around a little bit, change this. Then I bring it to the campus pastors and they say, well, maybe we want to do this. But it's all about getting agreement. So when we do something, we're serving all of the campuses together and moving in the same direction on specific things. Every campus can have different offshoots of what they do, but I want us to all be functioning with agreement for everything that we're focusing our energy on, that it's something that every campus pastor wants. And this process of communication, us thinking through this, sending it to the campus pastors, getting their agreement, modifying it, editing it, is a great way to communicate and gain agreement. Because one of our challenges right now is there are a lot of expectations. This is a way to manage the expectations and make sure we're talking ahead of time so that everybody knows what we're doing. And if there's things that we as growth coaches decide not to do, we want the campus pastors to know that ahead of time. If there's things that we as growth coaches decide to do, we want the campus pastors to know that ahead of time and have the ability to weigh in and say, well, you know what, that isn't going to help me the best. Our ultimate goal is serving the campus pastors, but we have to do it in the context of the entire organization. And sometimes that means that we as campus pastors in that room have to really wrestle with it and talk about some of those dynamics because everyone has a different perspective. And I think that this goal setting process, us defining some parameters for the goals and gaining agreement, is really going to help bring us together and make sure we're all focused on the same thing and open up the lines of communication. And as we do that, I think it really helps us to eliminate some of the frustrations, to clarify what we want to do, and make sure we all know what everyone is expecting from each other. And as we do that, when we can clarify that, I think it just makes our entire organization function really, really well. That communication and agreement is like oil on the engine. It keeps things running smoothly. So that's what I really want to focus our time on right now. If we can really help to fix this and create some good communication systems and ways to get agreement of everybody and interact a little bit, allow everybody to weigh in, we're going to be functioning at a much higher level. So I'm excited about this. So that's your homework before we meet the next time. I think we meet in 2 weeks. I could be wrong. I'm not looking at my calendar, but that's our rhythm. I might have had to cancel for something. But the next time that we meet, just come with your recommendations for your area. What are the big things that you want to be working towards that are going to be our milestones that go under those 4 goals: growing, healthy, apostolic, and next generation. All right, guys, we'll see you later.